Bring in America's mayor right now, Rudy Giuliani. Thank you so much for joining us. You're a prosecutor. You understand how this works. A lot of people thought that there was overwhelming evidence that Hillary Clinton was guilty, if not of negligence, not of being intentional, certainly being grossly negligent.
I'll divide it into two things. So let me just tell you sort of my background. I was a third-ranking official in the Justice Department, and I was the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York. And at one time, I was Jim Comey's boss. I am very disappointed in what he just did. The first and easiest one is exactly the statute that you're talking about, which I have in front of me, 18 United States Code, Section 793. There is a no-brainer violation of that statute. Right. And he said
Would that be a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's a felony, 10 years in prison. And the words that he said, which he was ill-advised to say, was that she was extremely negligent. This statute requires gross negligence in the handling of information relating to the national defense. The definition that a judge gives a jury in a charge on gross negligence includes the words extremely negligent. Right. They're one and the same thing. So he has found that she violated 18 United States Code Section 793. Except he can't somehow bring himself to the conclusion that she should be indicted for it, which says to me he's putting her above the law. Second, the way prosecutors prove intent is not, somebody says, I intend to do insider trading, or I intend to give a bribe. We prove intent through circumstantial evidence.
Through action, right?
Yeah. So we have thousands and thousands of documents that she handled carelessly, that she handled with no regard for what the rules or the laws were. Then we have 34,000 documents she destroyed. That alone is evidence of guilty knowledge.
Right. He gave her the benefit of the doubt on those, saying just like anybody else, deleting emails in the course of life, you're going to make a few mistakes, and he gave her the benefit of the doubt. Where does he get the leeway to do that?
Every prosecutor in the world uses deletion of emails as argument of guilty knowledge.
When he said no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case, he worked for you. He knows the laws.
I think it's just the opposite.
You think he's totally wrong? I mean, would you look at him and say, look,
I would look at him and I would say, Jim, how do you prove intent? Circumstantial evidence. You just laid out so much circumstantial evidence, it's going to take weeks to go through it. Second, you got a straight-out violation of 18 United States Code, Section 793. Right. Why didn't you indict her for it?
Mayor, we know that this is all about semantics. You just brought that up between gross and extreme negligence. You just mentioned intent. He said there was no, quote, malicious intent. Does that make a difference?
No, there's very few of these statutes require malicious intent. Willfully and unknowingly conceals. Willfully and unlawfully conceals. That's the normal intent that we prove almost always by circumstantial evidence, by things that people hide, people running away, destroying possibly relevant documents. Here's the argument you make to the jury. She deleted 34,000 emails. Do you think, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she deleted those emails because they were all about Chelsea's wedding dress?
All right. Mayor Giuliani, thank you very much. I want to share some breaking